What's up? It's Sofia here, and I'll be talking about Bitcoin and why it dropped. Some of the most interesting factors are the roles of miners and altcoins. The drop actually began in the first place with people who produce Bitcoin. Mining has gotten harder and way more expensive. The difficulty on the mining network has increased, leading to a spike in energy prices. So miners are earning less Bitcoin while paying more to create it. That means thousands of miners have quietly slipped into daily losses. And when miners start losing money, they're forced to sell their Bitcoin, not because they want to, but because they literally needed cash to keep the lights on. And that's when the real trigger comes to place. A huge wave of Bitcoin hits the market at the same time. We have seen this supply spike, demand doesn't rise with it, and then therefore the price collapses really fast. But I'm here to let you know what 3 other parts of the markets you can look at in order to stay on top of what's happening with Bitcoin. But before I do that, please make sure you subscribe. First of them is stablecoin liquidity. As you might know now, stablecoins are cryptocurrencies that are designed to stay at $1 level, backed by cash or assets. Some of them are Tether, Circle, Maker, DAO, True USD. Stablecoins are basically the cash of crypto. They're the gasoline that powers this trading, because when stablecoin supply grows, it means fresh money entering the system. When we see supply shrink, that means that money is leaving and people are avoiding risk. You'll see a stablecoin growth usually before Bitcoin recovers. It's an early indicator. And you can follow the total stablecoin supply chart to get real-time stablecoin liquidity signals by the block. Secondly, you need to bear in mind the altcoin volume. Altcoins, as you might know, is every other cryptocurrency that is not Bitcoin. Some of them are Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, Avalanche, Chainlink, etc. When altcoins have very low volume, it means that investors are scared. When money pulls back into only Bitcoin and Ethereum, that's when you see that people are going for the safer assets. When altcoin volume comes back, it shows that investors are willing to take more risk, an early sign of improving sentiment, and then we see money starts following from Bitcoin to altcoins. However, recently we've seen a dip. If you follow the total 3 chart on TradingView, this chart is the entire crypto market minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. Currently, the volume is really low compared to their 30-day average, which signals that people are still really bearish. And finally, one of the most important indicators you can look at are the macro conditions. If interest rates fall here in the United States, we're going to see risk assets, including Bitcoin, get a tailwind. How do you monitor this? You can follow the FOMC interest rate decisions. Actually, their next meeting will be on December 9th or 10th. Now, you can also track if miners are selling. The excess supply pressure goes away. You need to follow CryptoQuant miner outflows to see how much Bitcoin miners are sending to exchanges. Also, look if stablecoin liquidity is expanding. When we see an expansion, we are seeing new capital returning. It is really useful to also monitor this with the stablecoin total supply chart on TradingView. Now, you also need to look at those ETFs flows, if they turn positive or negative. Institutions are accumulating again, or are they not? You can keep an eye out on the Bitcoin ETF. You can follow this on Bloomberg or similar platforms. And finally, you need to look if altcoins are staying weak, because people preferring Bitcoin and Ethereum continues until confidence returns for the overall crypto market. It's really important to look at these numbers so you are aware of what's currently happening in the markets. And make sure you also keep track of being subscribed, because you want to make sure that there's somebody who is telling you what's happening, what you can follow, and how you can profit from this. So make sure you keep track of these prices so you know what's currently happening with Bitcoin. I'll see you next time.